everyone. I am here today to show you a wig by Jon Renau. This is Lucy. Lucy is part of Jon Renau's Professionnel line. Did you know that they had a line of wigs that are exclusively reserved for brick and mortar wig shops? Well, I didn't until this launch. So I've been seeing this Professionnel line all over Instagram and social media and have been really curious about it. So let me show you the tag first. So this is Lucy, and Lucy's in the color 30A27S4, also known as Shaded Peach. And I have been dying to try Shaded Peach for a long time. I've been really afraid to get it because I thought it would be too light. Well, I'm really into lighter wigs now, so I finally got myself Shaded Peach. Let me just show you this cute little box that it came in. It's a pink, very light pink box. It's just really cute. So Jon Renau has a line of wigs, as I believe do other manufacturers, that they reserve only to be sold in wig boutiques, wig shops, wig salons, and so you can't actually get this wig at an online retailer. I happened to purchase this wig from a wig sister who had gotten it and then determined the color was the wrong color for her and a little bit with the length, but and so I was able to buy this from a wig sister. I didn't have to go into a wig store to get it. And so I thought, oh, what a good opportunity to try this style. And so here I am to share it with you guys. Now, if you are not near a wig store, I'll give you some resources in the links below that you may be able to use to get this wig, because I do know a couple of brick and mortar stores will sometimes service customers if they are part of like their Facebook group, or if they reach out to them other ways. And I have purchased from one of the links I'll share with you for sure. And so there are ways for you to get this wig even if you do not live near a store. So keep that in mind. Lucy is a fully hand-tied cap, and I will show you the cap. So she is one of the Jon Renau fully hand-tied cap, lace front, monofilament, all of the bells and whistles. I don't know how much she retails for, because like I said, I bought it from a wig sister, a little bit used, so I got her for a good price, but I know that their hand-tied caps can be between $400 and $500. So she's probably a spendy wig, but you might be able to find one on one of the used wig sites or eBay. So if you like this, keep your eyes open. Lucy is a bob with some subtle waves. She's not curly, she's very slightly wavy. I have not done any styling with Lucy. I don't know, the wig sister I got her from had not either, and she had not washed her. So this is pretty much out of the box. I did put a little foundation on the part, and I'll show you that when I take off the cap, just to try to draw out that part. I have Christy by Jon Renau. Christy is also a fully hand-tied cap. She's a bob, a straight bob, and I had put foundation on her part, and it just made all the difference. So I feel like I might need to do a little bit more work here, but that's all I've done to her. So let me show you how Lucy looks from all directions. I wish I could do something about this camera changing color when it can't see my face. Sometimes it does it and sometimes it doesn't. So she's very, she's a moderate density. She's not a ton of hair, but she's not super light density either. She's a good head of hair. Because she's got a fully hand-tied cap, she has no permatease whatsoever. There is no permatease in this wig. She's very flat. Flat and poof can be really hard to see in a video, so you have to really rely on the reviewer to kind of describe how it feels and how it is in person. And so keep that in mind. But for this one, she is very flat to the head. There is no poof right here at all. As a matter of fact, I do like Lucy, but one of the things I struggle with, I've considered wearing her a few times to work and I just haven't yet because of this. When on me, because of how round my face is, when I get a wig that has some body on the sides, but is really flat on top, I don't know that that's super flattering on me. It's certainly not terribly flattering to my eye. So that's one thing I struggle with Lucy. So for those of you who don't like any real volume on the top, who really like when it's kind of flat, which is honestly pretty realistic. I mean, most women's hair isn't super poofy up here unless they do a lot of back combing and put a lot of thickening product in. So in that sense, this is going to be really, really realistic. Because she's a fully hand-tied cap, she just moves great. And Jon Renau fully hand-tied caps just really hug the head. They feel like a glove on your head, at least to me. And I'll be 100% honest with you guys, that is not my favorite feeling. Some people love the fully hand-tied caps, just love them. And I can understand why. They definitely do feel different from a wefted cap. But for me, it does take some getting used to because they just really kind of hug the head. I also tend to have a little bit extra room up here in the Jon Renau fully hand-tied caps. This one though, I don't have as much extra room. This cap actually feels really snug. So I would say that this cap may run small. That's the way it feels to me. It feels pretty snug on me. And my Christy, I have a lot of extra room here and I just had to sort of live with that. I also have Cameron, which is another fully hand-tied cap. Again, I have a lot of extra room. So I think this cap runs a little small as well. So this color, Shaded Peach. So I like that you've got the color codes on here because it really helps you understand what the colors are. So we've got a 30 and a 27 with a 4 root. So this is rooted. Very, very much a shadow root. It is not an overly dark root for the color, and it isn't too long. So I think the rooting is just perfect. And then you've got the 30, which is a light auburn, and then a 27, which is kind of more of like a strawberry blonde. But this is definitely a brunette. This isn't a blonde. It's a very, very light, not a very light, I'd say it's a medium auburn that is just really pretty. It's not overly highlighted. So for my brown-haired girls who like a little lighter of a brunette, who don't mind the reds, I think that this is a really great color. I love it. I'm so glad I have it. Let's take a look at the cap. So you can see that discoloration there where I put some of the foundation, and I just paint it on with a makeup brush. I hold my finger over the part so that I can see through the monofilament kind of where that part's going to show up, because otherwise it's hard to tell. And then I just take the brush and I put some of the foundation on, then I flip it over, I put my finger over where I just painted it, and then I kind of go over it again. I don't put more foundation on until I feel like it's kind of, you know, been smoothed in, and then I may need to take a little bit of a washcloth to get any off of the hair fibers that may have gotten on it. But that's the technique that I use to put foundation on a part. You can also use silicone tape, medical tape that is flesh colored. I've done that as well. So here is that monofilament and the lace front. I'll show you that lace front. I'll put her back on so you can see it. And then if you've never seen a Jon Renau fully hand-tied cap, that's what it looks like. So there's no wefting. And what's really awesome is right in here, that's what it looks like. So instead of wefts, you've got this almost transparent mesh, and you can see through it. Now, what that means is when the wind blows, you do not have to worry about wefts showing. The wind is just gonna make it look like your hair. It's great. So in that sense, it's that way everywhere in the back. So sometimes people will ask about the density of the hair fibers because they're worried that if they go out on a windy day, you're going to be able to see that it's a wig. With a fully hand-tied cap, you will not be able to tell. So that's one huge benefit of a fully hand-tied cap. And then it has an extended nape with Velcro adjusters and the velvet ear tabs with the metal stays. Another real benefit of a hand-tied cap is if you don't have any hair. If you're bald, and again, I'm not bald, I'm just going off of what people tell me and what I've seen in reviews, but my understanding is that it's much more comfortable. They're softer, smoother. With wefting, they can be a little itchy on a bald head. Permatease can be a little itchy on a bald head, and so none of those things exist in these fully hand-tied caps. So for women with total hair loss, maybe you're going through chemo, maybe you have a form of alopecia where you've lost all your hair, fully hand-tied caps can be a real benefit. I personally just find them to be, I'm more comfortable in the wefted ones in general, personally, but there's many benefits to fully hand-tied. I have her adjusters nearly pulled all, they're at the end. I haven't had to tighten these at all. And she is snug on me. So please take a look at my measurements in the description box to see how you compare. I am an average circumference at 22 inches. So in that sense, I'm right at average, and she's a little tight around me. I am not tightening her at all. If you are a 22.5-inch circumference, if you are bigger than that, she's gonna be snug around your head. You may be used to that, with some, just like I'm used to wigs being big on me normally because all the rest of my measurements are child size. People with a little bit bigger heads are used to wigs being tight on them. So it is part of just what you're comfortable with. You might not mind a snug wig, you've gotten used to it. I rarely have snug wigs, and so when one is, it's a little bit an odd feeling for me. But she just feels so secure. She just clings to my head. I adhere all my wigs with It Stays. I probably would, just because it's what I do. I don't think I would need to with this one. I do not feel that she is going to go anywhere. She's just going to stay right where I put her. So that's kind of a good feature when a wig fits you that way. So let's take a look at the lace front. I will admit, Jon Renau lace fronts are okay for me. They're not my favorite. I'm going to do it one more time just for fear that it might not have focused fully. It's kind of hit or miss if I can get it to focus right. It's not a terrible lace front by any means, but you can see the knots a little bit. They are fine. She's a little dense up here, and obviously with that rooting, the darker knots are in the front. So it's not a big deal. I think it's just fine, but I have seen better lace fronts. And other than that, the hair fibers feel good. She is on the drier side. She's not soft and silky. So if you like the really super silky wigs, like maybe a Kai from Renee of Paris is super silky. She's not that, but she doesn't feel like doll hair or anything like that. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. I haven't worn her yet, but I wanted to show her to you guys. I am gonna work with styling and see what I can do. The more I play with her here, the frizzier she seems to be getting. So I think it's likely there's some product in her future for me, just to make sure she kind of doesn't get frizzy. And other than that, she stays off my face. She is flat. I wish there was a little more lift, but I certainly don't need to steam her to get her off my face. So that's a great feature. And she is tuckable. So the coverage on her, this cap goes all the way down. There's my bio hair, but you can see a lot less of my bio hair on this than most wigs I buy. So this cap is fitting me. It's way down here. It's way at the base of my neck. This cap is good sized in the sense that it's got very full coverage. It's just really snug, and that may be a product of it being a hand-tied cap. They're less stretchy by far than a wefted cap. So I'm not saying that someone who's, an average large couldn't wear her. I'm just saying she is gonna fit you very, very snug. So let me know if you have questions, but this has been Lucy, part of the Jon Renau Professionnel line in the color Shaded Peach. Thanks for watching, you guys. Hey everyone, so here is Shaded Peach outside. Wanted to make sure you could get a good look at this color both inside and outside. It is a very bright day out here. A lot of sun. lot of sun. So here's how she looks in the sun. Sorry guys, my eyes are super sensitive to sunlight, so I'm squinting an awful lot. Back into the shade. This is under an awning. Just kind of giving you guys a sense of a lot of different lighting out here. Such a pretty color. I just like it a lot. All right guys, hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.